a super performance, 3 points and a club record. You're pretty pleased with that?
Yeah, obviously, I'm really pleased with the performance, with the win, and especially happy for the players because we were coming from a really good run of games, but there were a lot of draws there, and probably we were not appreciating what they were doing. We haven't lost a game since we played against Arsenal, I think 4th of January, and it means you are not getting days off. Sometimes we are playing better, sometimes we are playing worse, but the team is there and is competing for every game, and I think a game like this, considering the opposition, considering the moment of the season, how much was in play, I think it gives us this reward for the players that I think they deserved.
How much of that was motivation to sort of turn that run of draws into wins? Obviously there must be frustration in the group that you weren't winning, but how much did that push the team on to win today?
Yes, I think when you draw a lot, is you feel like the table doesn't give you what you are putting there, and 1 point is not a lot. We were kind of not losing and still losing position sometimes in the table, because other teams around us were winning. I hope this win helps us to recover a better position in the standings, stay there in the fight, and value a little bit what this group of players is doing.
And tactically, you seem to have Arsenal's number. That they really struggled with the press. Obviously, that's a feature of your game. But was that something that you pinpointed particularly to work today?
No, when you win a game, it always looks like everything was spot on and everything worked like you wanted. But I think obviously because they are a big club, a big team playing so well, they will give you chances to recover the ball high because they assume these risks, and sometimes they've gone through our press and we were close but you don't arrive there, and they find solutions from difficult positions. But it's true that games against United, against Arsenal we played lately, probably they go direct less times and they give you the chance to press them, to recover the ball a little bit higher, but we had to also accept some big risks, situations 1 against 1 at the back sometimes, and the key for me is have the players ready to win those duels in difficult positions.
Obviously, I asked you yesterday about your number 10, and you went for Junior today as sort of the second striker option, and he rewarded you with an excellent performance and a goal. How pleased were you with his showing, not just for his goal, but for his energy in the press as well?
It has been a difficult decision actually, because he has been training really well this week, but I thought we really needed this third midfielder. But we've asked him to do this job and to act, okay, you are playing, but you have to be a midfielder and you have to do your job and you have to recover the recovery runs for the second balls and all the defensive job that number 10, I don't know if we put Ryan Christie or Alex Scott or Taff or Brooksio, someone who is going to play there is going to do. You have to do all this even if you are a striker, and after in exchange we can put you in good positions. If he receives chances around the box, he's going to score goals because that is inside him. But I appreciate the job he's doing, so he can play almost as a midfielder or a second striker, and very, very happy for him.
And I guess that must say a lot about his mindset, that he's come in and been asked to play a slightly different role than he's used to, and has really grown and improved in that this season.
Yes, Junior has something like inside him that we don't want him to lose it. He plays like he's in the playground sometimes, he's enjoying and he wants the ball, but we have to make him, and we want to make him even a better player in other areas, and I think he's understanding this, and I hope this balance, in like making him a more complete player, not losing his happiness playing, sometimes his naivety, how he enjoys the game. I think the balance is right.
And Alex Scott was the other goal scorer, but again put in an excellent all-round performance. I sort of felt like your midfield with Ryan in there as well did a lot to nullify Arsenal's threats. How pleased were you with Alex, but also how the midfield functioned today?
I think he deserved this moment of scoring the goal, celebrating in the corner with the fans, receiving the recognition that he deserves, because he has been playing, not lately, I think consistently all the season, at a very, very high level. And I am sure these goals in this situation, in this moment, will help him receive back a little bit of this recognition that he fully deserves.
And defensively, you were excellent, but how pleased were you to only concede a penalty against Arsenal?
Yeah, very, very happy. I think, especially in set play situations, you are always scared. We gave some corners, but we conceded the penalty. That I don't think it was a pen also. But the rest of them, I think we defended quite well. In open play, I think we've been really good defensively, winning the duels against their forwards, and I think has been the key, because we've been good on the ball, we've been threatening, in the transitions, but especially I think defensively we've been solid.
Okay, we'll go here and then here.
Hi, Donny. Just with the pressing and the approach, how much is it on a day like today? Is that connected to the psychology? Because this is quite a tense stadium at the moment. I mean, would that feature in your thinking at all?
No, I think it's the way we play. Some teams give us the chance to press them. Some teams they just go direct, and we cannot use this strength that I think we have. We wanted to keep the advantage at the back, but also allow them to kind of, it's a cat and mouse thing. You can play, but we will go. But then if you go direct, and it's this kind of play that teams like we played recently, United or Arsenal or big clubs that they obviously won the ball, they give you these chances. Sometimes you arrive a little bit late and they go through your press, and then you have to defend a 3 against 3, and it's big risk, big reward. But these are situations where the way we play, we have to accept.
Okay.
There's been a lot of noise around on Arsenal and kind of the pressure and the nerves around their type of challenge. Did you want to weaponise that in any way and use that to your advantage?
No, I think we played against them now a lot of times, and I think we've played almost the same way against them every time. Sometimes you beat them, sometimes you lose. I think the approach comparing to the game we played, 3 months ago, that they beat us 3-2 has been very similar. Sometimes a matter of details, but I think they are very good, and they obviously they won't control the games. They won't for sure to play their way, and this is the reason why they are top of the table. They are in a commanding situation, and they are so good.
And can I just ask you may not be aware, but at the end of the game there was an incident in the press box with some of your coaching staff, I imagine at the back, the analysts, who celebrated quite wildly at the end of the game, which obviously caused some grievance with the Arsenal fans in front of them. Is the expectation of your staff members when they sit around Arsenal supporters that they don't do that?
It's new for me. I don't know what happened. I cannot speak without knowing, but I know my analysts. They are, I would say, quite respectful, and normally they don't celebrate a lot. I think the ones, if we are the ones that we have normally, but I will definitely ask them and see what has happened. Yes.
Last one.
Obviously, now into the final run of games, 6 games to go. How can you use today's result to build momentum and finish as high up as possible?
I think we are in a position now where we know still is very difficult to get that European positions, because we are 5-6 teams in 1 to 3 points. So statistically, some of those 5-6 teams is going to win 4 from 6 or 5 for 6. So everyone will try to be themselves. But I think the demands to get to those positions is going to be very high, because some will lose all the games, some will win almost everything, some will be in the middle, and we have now, I think, it's still a very difficult schedule. We have now Newcastle away, we still have that game against City, we have big games to play. I hope we can, week to week, keep our chances there and finish really with chances in the last 2-3 games.
Hi. Well, extremely disappointing. It's a big punch on the face. That's what I said to the boys. And now it's about how we react to that. Because game on is going to require now a big spirit, a lot of fight, and very clear how we're going to approach that. There's no great areas. We are in, we are out, and we need to be very, very, very strong and determined to approach it in a different way that we've done today, especially when the game wasn't going our way.
Are you worried about how the team will respond to it? 'Cause it seems very tense.
No, because I've seen them before in many scenarios, and I've seen them for 9 months. But today there were certain very basic things that we did extremely bad against a team that when you do that, they're going to capitalize, stress the PS again, becomes very chaotic and very difficult to control. So, yeah, it's a lot good things that they've done, obviously, and credit to them. But I think that it's a lot in our plate to look at ourselves.
Tom from Reach.
Mikel, yesterday obviously you asked the fans to bring a lot.
Yeah.
With the performance that we saw, what do you have to say to kind of them to now to encourage them that you're necessarily?
Apologize, take it in the chin, and that's it. What I'm trying to do is give our best to the club, give the best possibility to our players, and I know the atmosphere, the fans, the support, the energy in the stadium is the best in the world. We have a much better chance. I don't think that there is any other possibility to perform better than when you have that kind of support, but then we had to respond, and we had moments in the first half where we did it, and there were other moments that we were on our level. So then we have to apologize to them and improve for sure.
Matt from the Standard.
Okay. After the high of the win in Lisbon, are you surprised with how poor the players were today?
We were very far from the level that we shown. That's for certain, especially in certain areas that are critical. And when you play against a team like Bournemouth, that they were very clear. But again, I don't want to criticize any player, especially here publicly.
Phil, Pierre?
Momentum is obviously a big thing in sport.
Mhm.
The narrative now is going to be that the momentum is shifting away from Arsenal and to City because that's 3 consecutive defeats domestically at least. So what would you say to that?
We cannot control that. I think what we can control is our performances like we've done over the last 9 months, and that's the only thing. So anything that is said when you have a defeat at home, you have to accept it. That's it. There's no excuses. There is no this or that or the things that I hear. It's about how we're going to stand up, first of all, individually, and then as a team to change that immediately on Wednesday.
James Athletic.
Hi.
You said about your team kind of doing simple things rather than making simple mistakes. Do you mean about sort of when Bournemouth were pressing you, playing at the back, there were quite a lot of errors there in the second half?
There were a lot of situations. I don't want to go into that detail. They were quite obvious, and we need to do that much better in order to have certain control and dominance in the game. Otherwise, it's difficult. Yeah.
Can I just ask, there's no Ricky today and no Martin. Could you give us an update on that?
Sorry?
Could we have an update on them and their availability going forward?
No, and on Martin as well, no, and Bukayo Saka either. We don't have an update yet.
Josh from the Sun.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You said that they were making mistakes and you weren't happy with sticking with it extremely bad. Part of that down to tiredness, and not only in terms of playing a lot of games, but like the mental fatigue and trying to finally get over this line.
But I don't want to put those excuses because we've been playing so many games every 3 days. We're going to have to continue to do that. So that's the context, that's the scenario, and we have to embrace it and especially enjoy the opportunity. That's one of the things that I haven't seen the team today, that level of enjoyment in certain moments, and fight that we have to really change the course of the game when it goes difficult. We're going to have different contexts from here to June, and we need to be able to adapt and resolve all of them if we want to achieve what we want to achieve. That's clear.
Sam Telegraph.
Yeah. Hi, Mikel. We've spoken a few times this season about the nervousness and the sort of how much they want to win in the crowd.
Yeah.
The fans. It felt today like there were moments when there was a bit of a disconnect between you were sort of saying calm down, keep the ball, and the fans are saying go, 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 attack. How do you manage that?
That's fine. That's clear. That's emotion. It comes from the right place, and it's not a day for sure to demand anything that what the fans have done today.
Okay, well, the last couple. Firstly, Ed from the Guardian.
Hi.
Just given what's happening in this game in the last couple of weeks, is it one of your biggest challenges you face to turn things around now from the mentality wise?
Yeah, well, we know what is at stake, and the fact that as a club we haven't done it for so long is a reason for that. It talks about the difficulty, but I just want to focus on the things that we can control, dominate, and we have done. It's not that we have to do a lot of new things that we haven't done. No, let's keep doing a lot of or almost all the things that we've done for 9 months, because that's what has taken us all the way there. And on Wednesday I saw a lot of them, and today, yeah, we've gone back, so we need to learn. We need to be very critical to ourselves, and then pick ourselves up, because on Wednesday we have a big one coming up.
Okay, finally, Ollie, Daily Mail.
How much of the drop in the level do you think is down to nerves and the tension of the title race? And however much it is, as a manager, how do you fix that?
We need everything. First of all, we need everybody fit and available. So the ones that are not involved, the ones that are not with us, that are really big, important players, we need them immediately with us, because then we're going to be much stronger. And then the other ones, we need to stand up, me the first one, and embrace this challenge and go for it. So today we have to suffer. It's painful, it's a terrible feeling, but tomorrow is a different day. And if somebody would have said to me in August, you are in this position right now in April, I'm sure we will all take it.
Arsenal may end up owing a huge debt of gratitude to Andrea Berta for what has quietly become one of their most lethal weapons in the Premier League title race. Mikel Arteta often refers to his substitutes as finishers, and the numbers back him up. They've been making a massive difference all season long. The idea first took shape back in 2023 after a long conversation with England rugby coach Eddie Jones, but it truly came to life last September in Bilbao. On that night, Arsenal secured an impressive 2-0 away win over Athletic Club at San Mamés in the Champions League, thanks to late goals from Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli. Both forwards also assisted each other, and after the match, Arteta was quick to praise the decisive impact of his finishers. Interestingly, more than 2 years earlier, Arteta had described his substitutes as impact players, but the term never really stuck. This time, however, finishers has become part of Arsenal's identity, largely because of the incredible influence these players have had, both domestically and in Europe. The term wasn't just symbolic either. Arteta and his coaching staff deliberately embraced it to remove any sense of disappointment among players left out of the starting 11. There's now a strong belief within the club that these finishers are just as important as the starters. They carry the responsibility of stepping onto the pitch and deciding games, and more often than not, they deliver. The stats speak volumes. After Kai Havertz's midweek winner in Lisbon, Arsenal lead all clubs in Europe's top 5 leagues for goal contributions from substitutes, with 38 in total, 24 goals and 14 assists. Spain's Celta Vigo sits second with 34, tied with French giants Paris Saint-Germain. No other Premier League side even cracks the top 10 in Europe. Within England, Chelsea come closest to Arsenal, with 27 goal contributions from substitutes, 17 goals and 10 assists. Remarkably, even teams not competing in Europe, like Leeds, Fulham, and relegation-threatened Wolves and Burnley, have produced more impact from the bench than Manchester City, who have just 10 contributions, 5 goals and 5 assists. Another encouraging sign for Arsenal is that they've already surpassed last season's total of 25 combined goals and assists from substitutes, with potentially 11 games still to play. Last season, teams like Brighton, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Liverpool, and Manchester United all recorded more goal contributions from the bench than Arsenal. This time around, however, Arteta's side has outperformed them all, highlighting the real value of the squad depth built under Andrea Berta last summer. At times, Berta's work at the Emirates has faced criticism, especially with big signings like Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, and Eberechi struggling for consistency. But their arrivals have undeniably strengthened the squad's depth and overall quality. That depth was evident in January, when Arsenal felt confident enough to send Ethan Nwaneri out on loan to Marseille. Back in January 2025, the Gunners were desperately searching for attacking reinforcements until the final moments of the transfer window due to an unprecedented injury crisis. Injuries have still been an issue this season, but the difference now is clear. Arsenal have the depth and quality to cope, and that could be what ultimately keeps their title dream alive. That added depth hasn't just helped Arsenal survive difficult moments, it has reshaped the way they approach matches. Opponents are no longer facing a team that fades late on. Instead, they're up against a side that becomes even more dangerous as the game progresses. Fresh legs, tactical flexibility, and players capable of changing the rhythm instantly have turned Arsenal into one of the most unpredictable teams in Europe. Inside the dressing room, this shift has also strengthened competition. Players know that starting a match is no longer the only path to influence it. Performances off the bench are now just as valued, and that internal pressure has raised standards across the squad. Training intensity has increased, and Arteta has more tactical freedom, knowing he can rely on multiple game changers at any moment. The psychological impact on opponents is just as significant. Teams that manage to contain Arsenal for 60 or 70 minutes are still left with the looming threat of high-quality reinforcements entering the pitch. It forces rivals to rethink their energy management and defensive structure, often leading to late mistakes, exactly the moments Arsenal have been exploiting. There has also been growing recognition across Europe of how effectively Arsenal have embraced this model. Analysts and former players have pointed to Arteta's adaptation as a reflection of modern football, where squad depth and in-game management are just as critical as starting lineups. The influence of ideas borrowed from other sports, like rugby, has only added to the sense that Arsenal are evolving ahead of many of their rivals. For Andrea Berta, this evolution is becoming a strong response to earlier criticism. While not every signing has delivered consistently, the collective impact of the squad he helped assemble is now difficult to ignore. Arsenal are no longer overly dependent on a small core of players. Instead, they have built a system where contributions come from every corner of the squad. As the title race intensifies, this could prove decisive. Fatigue, injuries, and fixture congestion tend to expose teams with limited depth, but Arsenal appear better equipped than most to handle those pressures. Their ability to maintain intensity across 90 minutes, and often decide games late, has already earned them crucial points. The challenge now is consistency. Maintaining this level of impact from the bench requires not only fitness and form, but also continued belief from players who may not start regularly. Arteta's man management will be tested, especially as expectations rise and every match carries greater weight. Still, there is a growing sense that Arsenal have found something sustainable. What began as a tactical idea has turned into a defining feature of their identity. And if their finishers continue to deliver in decisive moments, it may not just shape their season, it could ultimately define the outcome of the Premier League title race.